November 5th, that Deadline confirmed that Emilio Estevez would not be returning as Gordon Bombay, the coach of the Mighty Ducks in the Mighty Ducks series Game Changers. And initial reports suggested it had to do with a vaccine mandate or COVID protocols on set. So immediately, and especially too, with the Aaron Rodgers situation being as bad as it is with the Green Bay Packers, with the disaster that has been, couldn't happen to a better organization. Go Bears. But anyway, it's really though, it's really kind of heightened. I think the Rodgers story has heightened something like this. But Emilio came out actually today with through Deadline, and he said that it was, quote unquote, I love the way he put it, nothing more than a good old fashioned contract dispute. Yeah. That's how he worded his departure from the show Game Changers. And he coupled it with creative differences on the show. And he also said in a long statement, he said, and I quote, "I am not anti-vax, full stop." That is the actual way that he started this sort of press release report.
However, towards the end, he simply put, "I am anti-bully." What the hell does that mean?
Yes. And the problem therein lies, and this is kind of the thing too, again, to relate it to the Aaron Rodgers story. Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and talked for 18 minutes straight about his feelings on the vaccine and his own research. Full disclosure, we talk a lot on this show. None of us has ever gone on an 18-minute rant, number one. And number two, when it comes to PR, less is more. Less is more when it comes to PR, especially when you're in hot water. Politicians, that's the one thing politicians can often get right, is saying less is more. In Emilio's case, he writes this long thing, but never once does he clarify a vaccination status. Never once does he say anything like that. He could have put all of it to bed. Or at least just come out and say, personal choice, I'm not going to get the vaccine. It is what it is. But then, like Dom says, you throw in the term that stuck in my craw with the whole thing, anti-bully. And that's the thing. It's like, you're not anti-vax. Are you then anti the health mandate of the company or the production company that you're working for? Are you adverse to the protocols? He also did reveal too, and this is why it's just really strange, that he contracted COVID in the early days of the pandemic. He contracted it back last March, and he was a long hauler in terms that he still suffered from symptoms and ailments as late as summer and fall of last year. Now, the interesting thing about that, too, is it kind of contextualizes. He's a pretty private person. I don't believe he's on social media. But he also didn't do a lot of press for this show, which I thought was kind of interesting. He didn't do, especially coming back and playing Gordon Bombay for the Mighty Ducks, as classic as that franchise is.
Yeah, when that show appeared on the Disney Plus carousel, I was like, when the hell was this ever a thing? I know, like, Disney Plus has its real big focuses labeled Marvel, DC, I mean not DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and everything. Like, it's just like, but like, this is such a big deal for me too. I love that movie as a kid.
It's weird, though, that, like, he didn't do... I feel like Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls, who's in the show, too. Yeah. I feel like she did more, like, talk show circuits than he did. And he was and she's kind of like a newcomer to the show. But Emilio didn't do any press last year for the show, really any at all. So it kind of checks out the fact that he was either sick or just kind of doing the bare minimum and stuff. But then he continues to go on in this statement about how he put his work over the priority of his own health, and that probably compounded the symptoms and whatnot. Whatever the case may be, whatever the whole thing, I do believe that a contract dispute is probably somewhere involved in this too. As such, creative differences. I mean, he has been married to this franchise since its inception, I believe in 1992. Don't quote me on the year, but I think it was 92 when that first movie came out. But
same year as Unforgiven.
Same year as Unforgiven, indeed. It was
watershed year for Westerns and sports hockey movies about ducks.
Which then spawned the NHL franchise Anaheim Ducks, which Disney owned for a brief time as well, which was an interesting rabbit hole I fell down today. But yeah, Emilio's in the news. You're getting a lot of these stories, and I just feel like it's an odd kind of swirling and compounding of events. And again, at the end of the day, too, I feel like when you have to release a statement as long as the one that he did, you're buckling for something or you're covering for something. Quickly, after I just kind of went on a long-winded thing, what say you guys? Dom, I'll throw it over to you. Joe, you can have the final say.
Actually, I wasn't even thinking of in this context, but yeah, in the shadow of the Aaron Rodgers whole thing, which I don't want to go down that hole, but it's been a thing. And like it is a mess for Aaron Rodgers, at least in terms of PR. It's like, yeah, this makes perfect sense as to why he's being wishy-washy. This is very politics. Like, dude, you are like you are channeling your dad in the movie with Aaron that Aaron Sorkin wrote, not movie, series.
Wall Street.
Yeah, or no, not Wall Street.
Not Wall Street. What am I thinking?
God, I'm killing my joke here. But anyway, yeah, he played the president. But like it's
the newsroom.
It's not the newsroom. Oh my God, it's
screw me.
I'm the Aaron Sorkin guy. I should know better. But anyway, yeah, dude, this
Steve
real
Jobs.
Wishy-washy. Shut the hell up.
West Wing.
Yes,
West Wing.
Thank you, Jesus Christ.
Daylight savings time sucks. Abolish it. We're tired.
Yeah, dude, this is very very steady PR. And it's just whatever, dude. Just I would have respected you more if you just said, "Hey, I don't like the mandate. Therefore I'm leaving because of the mandate." But I get it. You got to play the game. So I don't even blame you that much. So just, at the very least, he left. Whether he was forced out, I don't know how much drama there was behind the scenes. Maybe more details will come out. I don't really care, but it's like, it's at least he went out with as little drama as he could, probably in the face of the Aaron Rodgers thing and everything else that's happening in terms of the cultural seismic shift we are with this very, very, very oppressive mandate that is get a shot that that like 5-year-olds are now sanctioned to get, and like shots we've been getting similar to shots we get when we enter kindergarten. But whatever, dude, that's a whole rant. So Joe, I'll leave it to you.
I got nothing much more to add to it. I will say this, like, I don't want to try to like dig into drama here, but like, yeah, I mean, when you compare this to other scenarios or like, anybody else that has this whole anti-vax like approach, like Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's fully said it, but it's it's basically like he's brushing alongside that, and look where that's going. Look, it's like at least he did leave the show quietly, as Dom was saying, and I do respect him for that, because to me, it's like I don't think he is an anti-vaxxer. Whatever the whole anti-bully thing is, I don't know. Like, because even like when you read the article, he says, simply put, I am an anti-bully. My exit from the show was due to myriad creative differences. Okay, but what creative difference really procked you to be like, they're bullying me, that I need to leave the show then? Like, or just like taking that stance.
Is the bully thing mutually exclusive to the creative differences, or is it the it's annoyingly vague.
At the very least, he's not coming out here and he's starting a whole thing on social media that's going to become a hashtag and everything, and then he'll join.
He's
Ben
not
Shapiro.
On Newsmax.
Yeah, he's going to join Ben Shapiro and whatever the hell her name is from Mandalorian on their next movie. That's good, like whatever it's going to be called. Like at least he's not going down that road. He's like, hey, like this is how I feel. I'm just going to be chill and cool about it. I respect the man for doing that. And not making this a big hoopla about stuff. It sucks. It's unfortunate. I like the guy, whatever it may be, and if he just doesn't feel safe taking the vaccine, that's his own choice, and if he just wants to keep it to that, by all means, that's okay by me. You're and at least you're leaving.
And he's gone.
Yeah, you're leaving. Like,
he's not infecting others.
He's not holding it hostage.
You started off this whole thing claiming like, I take this thing very seriously, like I take my precautions. So if you are realizing that, let's just say you don't want to take the vaccine, and you're realizing that you might be a detriment to the workplace, even though you said the anti-bully thing, that you might be like a possible spreader because you're not doing it, and then you're just like, hey, look, I'll just leave then. Like, if that's just how it's going to be and you're going to be cool and calm about it, whatever. Details aren't coming out about the story. I doubt they ever will. But at least the guy is being like, hey, before I leave, I'm not going to leave this place like on fire, making you think like Disney did this to me. No, let me clear the air real quick. I really respect him doing that, because a lot of people wouldn't do that when leaving a project like this and just let it burn. And whatnot. And it's cool that he was just like, hey, no, like everything's cool, like watch the show, it's great, like I'm in full support of it, I'm just not going to be on it anymore.